Hi, I'm Chris. The reason we've done the consultation is because for such a long time it's been very difficult to access a diagnosis for ADHD or autism in a timely manner for those that most need it. The reason we've changed it is to make it fairer and more equitable for those people, so that if they really need the support they can get it in a timely manner without having to wait a really long time.
We spoke to over 2,500 people in lots of different ways. It was so important to us that it wasn't just an online survey that people had to complete. We know not everybody wants to do that. So for example, we went right across Greater Manchester and we spoke to people at shopping centres, hospitals, GP surgeries, etc., where we knew people would be passing by, would see the signs and might have something to say. We also reached people that wouldn't necessarily be around and about or had different ways of telling us their stories. So for example, we went to an English language class in Oldham and we also reached out to drug and alcohol service users in various spaces and people who were using mental health services. We really wanted to make sure that people could give us their views in a variety of different ways. And we attended meetings with colleagues and organisations across Greater Manchester so that people from the voluntary community, social enterprise sector were able to feed in their views as well.
Everyone with ADHD symptoms struggles in some way. We should be assessed quickly.
At present, people are just left on an assessment list with no support and wondering why they are struggling, as they do not have a diagnosis yet. Communication and pre-assessment support is needed.
There shouldn't be a need to hit crisis point before we address issues. Not every person with ADHD has severe mental or physical health conditions, and there is much evidence that shows early diagnosis and support can prevent these things from happening.
People strongly agree with the proposed model, which included quicker access to support and prioritisation of those most in need. People want services that are funded by the NHS. People also value the right to choose offer. People value diagnosis. It offers validation, helps people understand themselves, and opens doors to access to support. People who took part in our consultation agreed or mostly agreed with the referral criteria stated. There were some concerns around gender masking, inattentive presentations, and the requirement for severe comorbidities. People agreed with our suggested support offer. They highlighted that support for mental health, anxiety, and sleep were the most important. There were other suggestions such as support around employment, understanding ADHD, and skills to manage ADHD conditions. Lots of people stated that professionals needed training around ADHD to better understand and to better support patients who were waiting a diagnosis or who had ADHD. We also received a number of alternative proposals to our system. We have considered these and these are documented in our consultation report.
Everything that people have told us will be now used to inform our next steps. Commissioners will take the insight along with things like service review information and clinical evidence to decide on options for change. And we will make sure that improvements to adults ADHD services and everything that happens is shared with you along the way. You can find more information on our website. We'll also be putting information out on social media and in other spaces. Lastly, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's contributed and given their views. Thank you.